What if I told you that nicotine, the substance most people associate with cigarettes, might actually hold the key to burning fat faster? Shocking, right? For years, nicotine has been painted as the villain of the health world. But there's a side to this story that no one seems to be talking about. Could this controversial substance really boost metabolism, suppress appetite, and even enhance focus? The truth might just flip everything you thought you knew about weight loss on its head. Here's the kicker. While nicotine has undeniable risks, it also has some surprising benefits when used strategically. Studies suggest that it can trigger thermogenesis, the process of burning calories to produce heat, making it a potential ally in the fight against stubborn fat. But before you run to the nearest store, there's a catch. How you consume it makes all the difference. From ancient rituals to modern-day pouches, nicotine's journey is as fascinating as its effects on the human body. So, why is no one talking about this? Maybe because it's easier to focus on the dangers than to explore the nuances. But today, we're diving deep into the science, the methods, and the risks, peeling back the layers of this misunderstood substance. Ready to uncover the truth? Let's get started. Nicotine has a history as rich and complex as the cultures that first discovered it. Over 6,000 years ago, indigenous peoples of the Americas began cultivating tobacco, using it in rituals, medicine, and even as a form of currency. Imagine this. Tobacco leaves were once rolled and smoked in ceremonial pipes, believed to connect humans with the divine. Fast forward to 1492, when Christopher Columbus stumbled upon this sacred plant and introduced it to Europe. What started as a cultural treasure quickly became a global phenomenon, spreading like wildfire across continents. By the 16th century, nicotine had a new champion, Jean Nicot, a French diplomat whose name would forever be tied to the substance. Nicot believed in its medicinal properties, promoting it as a cure-all for ailments ranging from headaches to wounds. It wasn't long before European elites were puffing away, convinced they'd found a miracle. But the real game-changer came centuries later, in the 1880s, when the invention of the Bonsack cigarette machine made mass production possible. Suddenly, nicotine wasn't just for the wealthy, it was for everyone. And with that, the seeds of a global addiction were planted. Today, we're witnessing yet another evolution in nicotine's story. The rise of technology has given birth to alternatives like e-cigarettes, nicotine pouches, and gums. These modern methods promise a cleaner experience, but they come with their own set of questions and controversies. Is this progress, or just a new chapter in an old story? As we dive deeper into why people use nicotine, you'll see how its allure has shifted from ancient rituals to cutting-edge science. Nicotine isn't just a substance, it's a tool, and for many, it serves a very specific purpose. At its core, nicotine is a neurostimulant, working its magic on acetylcholine receptors in the brain. This triggers a rapid release of dopamine and norepinephrine, chemicals that sharpen focus, improve reaction times, and enhance working memory. Think about surgeons performing delicate procedures or military personnel in high-stakes operations. Nicotine has often been their secret weapon for staying sharp under pressure. It's not just about the buzz, it's about unlocking a level of mental clarity that feels almost superhuman. But the benefits don't stop there. Nicotine is also known for its ability to reduce fatigue and suppress appetite, making it particularly appealing for those chasing weight loss or increased energy. Ever heard of someone skipping a meal because they were too busy with a cigarette? That's not just a habit, it's the appetite-suppressing effects of nicotine at work. Additionally, its thermogenic properties can give the metabolism a slight boost, aiding in fat burning. While these effects are temporary, they've made nicotine a go-to for individuals looking for an edge in their weight loss journey. Of course, the reasons people turn to nicotine are as varied as the people themselves. Some use it to manage stress, while others seek the subtle euphoria it provides. And then there are those who rely on it for its mood-modulating effects, finding comfort in its ability to stabilize emotions during tough times. Whether it's a student cramming for exams or an athlete pushing through a grueling workout, nicotine's appeal lies in its versatility. But as we explore the methods of consumption, it becomes clear that not all paths to these benefits are created equal. how you consume nicotine matters a lot. Traditional methods like smoking cigarettes, cigars, or pipes are among the most harmful. When tobacco burns, it releases a cocktail of toxins, including carbon monoxide and tar, which wreak havoc on the lungs and cardiovascular system. It is no wonder smoking is linked to diseases like lung cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Picture this. Every puff of a cigarette delivers nicotine to the brain in seconds, but at the cost of inhaling thousands of harmful chemicals. The trade-off? A quick hit of focus and calm, but with long-term consequences that are hard to ignore. For those seeking alternatives, methods like chewing tobacco or dipping might seem safer, but they come with their own dangers. These practices expose users to risks like oral cancer, gum disease, and tooth loss. Then there's vaping, the modern-day disruptor in the nicotine world. While e-cigarettes eliminate the combustion process, they're far from harmless. Vaping introduces aldehydes like formaldehyde and ultra-fine particles into the lungs, which can still cause damage over time. It's a step away from the dangers of smoking, but not a leap into safety. On the other hand, cleaner methods like nicotine gums, pouches, and toothpicks are gaining popularity. These options reduce the risks associated with combustion and inhalation, but they're not without flaws. High doses can lead to increased blood pressure, insulin resistance, and even localized issues like gum recession or mouth ulcers. For example, using a 6-12 mg nicotine pouch might feel like a productivity boost, but over time it can strain your body in unexpected ways. As we dive into nicotine's addictive nature, it becomes clear why even these safer methods demand caution. Nicotine's addictive nature is no accident. It's a master of manipulation. When consumed, nicotine reaches the brain in mere seconds, especially through smoking, creating an almost instant reward. This rapid delivery floods the brain with dopamine, the feel-good chemical, reinforcing the behavior and making users crave more. It's no surprise that cigarettes are among the most addictive substances on the planet. However, slower absorbing methods like gums and pouches are less likely to create that same level of dependency, though they're not entirely risk-free. Addiction, after all, isn't just about speed, it's about repetition. Age plays a significant role in nicotine addiction. Younger brains, particularly those under 25, are more susceptible to forming dependencies. This is because their brains are still developing, making them more vulnerable to the dopamine-driven reinforcement cycle. Genetics also come into play. Some individuals are simply wired to become addicted more easily. Imagine two people trying nicotine for the first time. One might walk away unaffected, while the other feels an irresistible pull to try it again. Understanding these factors can help people make informed decisions about their habits. Over time, frequent nicotine use leads to tolerance, meaning the same dose no longer delivers the same effect. This is why long-term users often find themselves increasing their intake, chasing that initial high. But here's the catch: the more you use, the harder it becomes to quit. This cycle of dependence is what makes nicotine so powerful and so dangerous. As we explore its impact on health, the question becomes not just how to use nicotine, but whether the benefits are worth the risks. Nicotine's effects on health are a double-edged sword. On one hand, it stimulates the body, increasing heart rate and blood pressure, which can enhance focus and energy. On the other hand, this same stimulation puts stress on the cardiovascular system, raising the risk of heart disease over time. For instance, someone who uses nicotine regularly might feel sharper during the day, but unknowingly be straining their heart with every dose. It's a trade-off that demands careful consideration, especially for those with pre-existing health conditions. Sleep is another area where nicotine leaves its mark. While it might seem like a quick fix for staying alert, nicotine can wreak havoc on your sleep cycle. Consuming it too close to bedtime delays REM sleep and fragments rest, leaving you groggy the next day. Imagine trying to burn fat or build muscle while running on poor sleep. Your metabolism and recovery take a hit. This is why many experts recommend avoiding nicotine in the evening, even if it's in the form of a seemingly harmless gum or pouch. Long-term health effects are still being studied, particularly for modern methods like pouches and gums. While they're considered less harmful than smoking, they're not entirely without risk. Issues like gum recession, insulin resistance, and elevated blood pressure remain concerns. For example, someone using high-dose pouches daily might avoid lung damage but still face other health challenges. As we move into strategies for safer consumption, it's clear that understanding these risks is key to making smarter choices. Not all nicotine consumption methods are created equal, and the differences can be life-changing. Smoking, for example, is by far the most harmful due to the combustion process, which releases thousands of toxic chemicals. Imagine inhaling tar and carbon monoxide with every puff. It's no wonder smoking is linked to lung cancer and heart disease. Mastication methods, like chewing tobacco, might seem like a safer alternative, but they come with their own risks, including oral cancer and severe dental issues. It's a case of trading one set of dangers for another. Vaping, on the other hand, has gained popularity as a less harmful alternative, and while it eliminates combustion, it's not without risks. Vapors inhale ultrafine particles and aldehydes, which can still damage the lungs over time. Think of it as a middle ground, better than smoking, but far from harmless. Then there are the modern methods, like nicotine gums, pouches, and toothpicks, which are often marketed as the cleanest options. These methods avoid inhalation altogether, reducing the risk of respiratory damage. But they're not entirely risk-free. High doses can still strain the cardiovascular system and cause localized issues like gum recession. Ultimately, the choice of method comes down to priorities and risk tolerance. For someone looking to quit smoking, switching to pouches or gums might be a significant step forward. But for others, even these cleaner methods should be approached with caution. The key is understanding that while some methods are less harmful, none are completely safe. As we wrap up this exploration of nicotine, the focus shifts to how we can use this knowledge to make smarter, healthier decisions moving forward. Now that you know the shocking truth about nicotine, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Are you ready to rethink everything you've been told about fat burning and metabolism? The power of nicotine lies not just in its effects, but in how you choose to use it or avoid it. Could this be the missing piece in your weight loss journey? Or is it a risk you're not willing to take? The choice is yours, but one thing is clear. Understanding the science behind it puts you ahead of the curve. So, what's your next move? Will you explore safer methods? Or will you steer clear altogether? Whatever you decide, remember that knowledge is power, and applying it is the first step toward real change. Don't let outdated beliefs hold you back from making informed decisions about your health and performance. And hey, if you found this information eye-opening, why not share your thoughts in the comments? Let's start a conversation. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. This is just the beginning of what you can learn about optimizing your health, performance, and lifestyle. Stick around. We've got so much more to uncover together. See you in the next video.